Welcome to another video and episode on my robotic arm with robotic wrist and pneumatic hand, which also has, of course, a pneumatic compressor with an engine that I designed myself. This is original compression chamber, then 5 valves, one underneath and then 3, 4, 5. The Robo interface with its extension, which is directly connected through USB to the laptop on which the program runs. That is, the interface is connected, not the extension. Then a pivot motor with 1 to 125 ratio, which slowly turns the base of the robot arm, because it should not go too fast and the pace of the motor is still diminished or slowed down by a worm gear. Then counterweights to have more weight for this arm with gear, wrist gear, and that is necessary because this whole combination is quite heavy. And of course the lower gear, which causes the up and down for the pitch movement of the arm, and on the other side is the motor for the yaw movement, and that is immediately the focus of this episode. Once again, because although I've solved the timing, and that took quite some time, the problem right now is that it's not the timing, it's a switch. This switch. And last time I was analyzing the replacement of this switch by a bipolar switch. It would save some software. However, if you replace this one by a bipolar switch, you encounter some problems. Because a bipolar switch switches no matter what. So if it is bipolar, it would be in the same place, in the same direction as this one. So it would switch, and you cannot hold the movement because it switches. So upon switch, this would stop, then this one would go, and that would be for 2 seconds. However, how do you start on again? Because the switch has been moved, and that's the problem. And this one should be pressed just like it is, with a nicely functioning chain, which is immediately the problem, because when I now press the chain, it works. However, this motor, which used to work nicely, keeps having this problem that somehow it loses its position. And that is maybe even nothing more than a millimeter that it loses, but it loses. And yeah, that I should not do. But okay. So let's give a short demonstration how this works. I can do that by diagnosis, but also by the program And let's start with the program. So, program is started. And I notice a problem. Because here is something not going. And here is something not going. So everything is going except what should be going. And on the screen I see that this is being gone, but that's all. So one motor is giving wrong signal. Let me stop and start again. Now it works, kind of, right here. And here you see the chain slipping. And yet again, the lower gearbox, the pitch gearbox, is not moving. So maybe I should quit this and force with diagnostics. But let me put that into a hold and first see how this one works out. And actually, the slipping is not such a bad idea. Although the timing with the program is not good, but it takes some time to detect it, and that is what does happen now. So maybe it's just for the best. And pressing the chain doesn't change, so but some other things are not happening either. So I am going to change something with the diagnostics. So, alright, program stopped. Diagnostics. I open the interface and then I will have to select the pitch gear, which is, and I have to quickly check that, motor up and down, which is motor 5, is slave and then motor 1. And that took quite an effort, even from the diagnostics. So that's not a very good sign, unfortunately. Okay. Now, let's go with the program again. Pitch still isn't working, so let me do it some other way. I stop this, I restart the diagnosis, and now I will have to check for this one using this. And That is motor 7, which is the third motor on the slave. And I should do that very slowly. In itself it works. However, now I want to see if this even works. This is input 3 on the slave. So that works. Now I want to see it being touched and detected by the motor, which is not happening. So that is a problem. So this means that I have to check for the position of the switch. 1/2 millimeter further, and I still don't see it. Okay, a little bit further. This is not very nice. So this works, but this doesn't. Okay. Slightly further. Now it works. And although for a very short time, and not even now, yes, and now it is detected. Okay, so I had to replace that switch a little bit. Now let's see if alright, stop the motor, close the interface, go back to the software and see whatever is happening. This should give a result. And unfortunately now it is dependent on timing. Which is not there yet. Okay, let me now. Okay, I forced the detection. But does the other motor work? Yes, now everything worked. Now I saw this motor work for 2 seconds. And I also notice a problem with this one. That is not good. Where is this one located? I forgot. Probably somewhere here, but I'm not quite sure anymore. This is not good. Probably somewhere like this. I'm quite sure, by the way. Yes. Oh, this is really bad. I ruined something with the wrist. Okay, something not good. Not good at all anymore. Too bad. And this is to show whatever goes wrong. So this is starting the program once again, and it does not detect the pitch gear, because this is the pitch gear and it doesn't see it. Also, the timing is wrong for this one, which is the change between the roll and the yaw. Now, new attempt, and here I do it manually. So I press this, and as a happy coincidence it detects it, and here you go. And here we go back into it, and I press it again, and yes, it does it again. In the correct direction, in the correct way. Although, what I wonder is, I did it for 2 times, and here I see it 3 times. So this may be a happy coincidence as well, just like this one. I'm not quite sure anymore. So what I'm going to do is exactly that. Running it, and then I see that the motor doesn't work at all. The only motor I hear is the compression chamber. And I wiggle a wire, and there goes the arm pivot. And I really seem to have a problem. Yeah. Something is really wrong with the chain and motor combination. But I wonder what. Alright. And now something else is going on. It presses too long against the switch. Well, what is too long? You can see that the timing is going right now, because each time the yaw is going.
But then another problem is that the pivot switch is not working. And I'm not aiding it. And something is going wrong now. Because the roll pivot switch, the bipolar switch, is not functioning. And now the yaw motor is going both ways. So it's going left now. Oh, and the pivot switch has been pressed now. And I didn't interfere. So let's see how this is working. Okay, it's going right side. And it presses again against the switch 11. The motor goes left. And right. In the same movement. While in fact it should press 11, go back, and go again the switch again, and it doesn't do that. So I ruined somehow the motor. Well, the chain movement. Did I do so with relocating the switch 11? I wonder about that, because this is not good. Let me stop this. Somehow, somewhere, this is definitely not right. It's a fragile balance. With such a switch, with such timing, with a bipolar switch that has some that needs some force to be switched, and then a chain that is slipping. What a nice, brilliant combination. How to solve it? That's another question.
So, to show you what I just described, bipolar switch that takes some force, some strength to be switched. This is the switch 11 that I gradually moved inwards, a slipping chain, and then this. So what happened was that, probably due to the slipping chain, this one kept here, and you just here heard a switch going. So that's a very fragile balance. And in this situation, where it still is in the well, let me say from this side left, it's actually the right position, the right side position. Then this motor, the yaw motor, goes in one way, or in one situation, being pressed here, goes this way and that way. While in fact this one should press, then it should go this way. In the meantime it goes here, goes back, and then it goes the other way. And looking here, the distance between this whole pivot, because yeah, that's what it is, a pivot, and the gear of the motor is too close for comfort. Way too close for comfort. Let me check the chain. How is the chain going? Well, the chain is the way it is. and I've tried a couple of times to modify the whole construction here in order to keep it in its place, but so far I'm failing. It did work and then it stopped working suddenly. Why? That's a very good question. Not quite sure how to solve it either. I doubt that I should change this switch, because the pivot is very, a bipolar switch is very definite. It's either one or the other. With this switch for the arm pivot, it's either one or the other. One direction or the other. For this one, it's exactly the same. You go either left or right. And you don't have a pause. It's an immediate switch. Not a fraction of a second, well, maybe a tenth of a second or millisecond, who knows. But that's just like that. And this one takes a bit. So I think the present situation, the current situation with this switch is better, although not ideal. But then again, the way that it does go wrong now didn't go before. And I think it has to do with me ruining this setup. But how to go on? That is a very good question. And I'm not sure.
And before I end this video, I want to show one other thing. That should be this one. And here, this is the arm pivot and this is the wrist pivot. But there is, of course, that bipolar switch in between. And unfortunately, I can't find a nice bipolar switch in this program. So, although this isn't correct, it's what I have to do with. And let's show the other one as well. This is with all the valves and the hand. No bipolar switches, just the switches as they are, 1, 2 and 3, with one not connected. And here things go wrong. So not so nice. Back here and back here. Unfortunately, I have to think about a nice solution, because in the present situation it clearly doesn't work correctly. Too bad. That's the way it is sometimes.
And with this I conclude my video, wrapping up. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment or suggestion. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Please, if you like this video, make a small donation to keep everything going, coming your way. You can also choose to become a patron and have your name mentioned. More information on my website, and you can find all information under this video. This is of course to be continued. Not sure how. Problems are there. Thanks for watching and bye bye.